Good morning. My name is Alex Dews. I'm the Executive Director of the Delaware Valley Green Building Council. We're a local nonprofit organization focused on education and advocacy for a healthy, safe, and sustainable built environment in our region. I'm really excited today to recognize the many partners who have worked with us over the last year to prepare for the launch of the Philadelphia 2030 District. Today, Philadelphia joins a network nationally of 17 other 2030 districts, ranging in size from Ithaca, New York, to Los Angeles, California, across North America, who are committed to addressing climate change through energy, water, and transportation efficiency. Across the network, more than 300 million square feet of space has committed to the 2030 goals, and we're ready to help grow that number here in Philadelphia today. The 2030 District is a voluntary program led by the private sector, owners and managers of large commercial buildings who are committed to reducing waste in energy, water, and transportation in their buildings. In Philadelphia, like most other cities, the energy that we use to power our buildings, heating, cooling, lighting, manufacturing, accounts for 80% of the carbon emissions across the city. In the 2030 District, buildings are assigned unique baselines and work toward goals that add up to major reductions in these harmful emissions, creating better, more resilient built environment along the way. The properties that have already joined the 2030 District exemplify how sound management and smart technology leads to healthier, more comfortable buildings that are less costly to operate and more valuable, and as a recent study showed, also less likely to default. As the convener of the 2030 District locally, Delaware Valley Green Building Council brings together building owners and managers with energy service providers, product manufacturers, utility companies, local government, and other partners to share best practices and common challenges to advance these goals. The partners in the 2030 District do the hard work required to reach long-term climate goals by focusing on what we can and what we have to do now, which is reduce waste in large commercial buildings. And the good news is that this saves people money and creates local economic opportunity. And the better news is that many of you who are here in the room are the leaders who are making this happen already. And I'm really excited to continue working with all of you to advance this across Philadelphia and beyond. I want to start by briefly acknowledging some of the early adopters to the 2030 District. Brandywine Realty Trust, Drexel University, SEPTA, the City of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House, CB Richard Ellis, Bedrock Group, and Independence Blue Cross. And on the resource partner side, Veolia, Tozer Energy Systems, Sage Glass, Saint-Gobain, Gray Boys Commercial Window Company, WGL Energy, and Edison Energy. Now, under Mayor Kenny's leadership and with the city's Greenworks plan as a guide, Philadelphia has remained steadfast in setting ambitious targets to reduce carbon emissions while moving toward a clean energy future, including goals that align with the Paris Agreement, cutting the municipal government's emissions in half by 2030, and reaching the 80 by 50 carbon emissions reduction goal that is deemed necessary to maintain a livable planet. We're so fortunate to have outstanding support on this work from the city, and I'd like you to all please join me in welcoming Mayor Kenny.
Thank you very much, and good morning, and thank you, Alex, for your introduction. And thanks to the Delaware Valley Green Building Council for helping the city take another step in the right direction to increase Philadelphia's sustainability and the world's sustainability, hopefully. Philadelphia 2030 District is an example of how cities are leading on combating climate change in the absence of federal leadership, no federal leadership. And this focus on our largest buildings is particularly important since most of Philadelphia's carbon emissions come from our buildings. The City of Philadelphia has committed nearly 4 million square feet of its own building space to meet the rigorous goals of the Philadelphia 2030 District. From the beginning, our administration, we've been committed to reducing citywide carbon emissions by 80% by the year 2050. And a few weeks ago, we released the city's first municipal energy master plan, which set ambitious goals, including reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030. Signing on to the 2030 District is an important concrete step the city is taking with our own municipal buildings to meet these goals. In addition, the focus on reducing energy and water use and transportation emissions aligns with Greenworks, the city's sustainability plan, and its vision for a sustainable Philadelphia. We applaud our partners in the private sector who are also stepping up to lead on reducing environmental impact from the building sector. Lastly, thanks again to the Delaware Valley Green Building Council for its leadership as the convener of the 2030 district and for providing a platform for the education, training, and peer exchange necessary to ensure the participants meet the district's goals. We're really happy to be part of this effort with the federal government abdicating its responsibility to a sustainable planet, denying climate change, appointing people to government that have absolutely no idea what they're doing in this area or pretty much anything else. We, as cities, need to lead. We will maintain our progressive stances on not only climate, but also on civil rights and minority rights and all the things that this president is trying to dismantle with his friends Steve Bannon and Mr. Gorka and the rest of the torch-bearing idiots. I'm going to save some energy by not turning my television every morning, which is like the worst thing I can do. But I want to thank everybody for their sensible and patient approach to this, and we can get through this. There will be a day when Donald Trump is not president. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Kenny. Next, I'd like to introduce Adam Agalico, who is the city's energy manager with the Office of Sustainability, and Mitchell Swan, who is vice chair at the Philadelphia Energy Authority.
Adam.
Mitchell.
Thank you, Alex and Mitchell. The Office of Sustainability is really lucky to have such a committed partner as the Delaware Valley Green Building Council. They've been leading on this area for a while, and we're thrilled to be part of the 2030 district. As Alex and Mayor Kenny said, this really fits in with our goals of reducing emissions and creating local jobs, as well as helping to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change here in Philadelphia. In addition to that, the 2030 district, we think, will go a long way to improving sustainability of the lives of Philadelphians. And it'll do that not just in our buildings, but also by helping to improve our water quality, by looking at our transportation systems and our water systems. And the city's really proud to have 8 of its largest buildings at Center City, kind of 5 large buildings, as well as the Art Museum. In this program. As you heard from the mayor, we've already outlined our plan for our own buildings. In a couple of weeks, we'll also be, the Office of Sustainability will also be announcing or launching a draft of Powering Our Future, a citywide energy vision, which is our citywide strategy and kind of framework for energy and climate in buildings and the built environment. And that work will also really align with the 2030 goals. So before I turn it over to Mitchell, I just wanted to share a really recent example of this success. In 2015, a lot of folks know we did a large energy performance contract, a large investment in our downtown facilities. This project was entirely paid from the savings that it generated. Since that time, the Department of Public Property has been really working hard to get additional savings in those facilities. And just recently, we learned that our building, the One Parkway building at 1515 Arch, was able and received Energy Star certification. And I wanted to just kind of acknowledge that. We've come a long way on that building. It went from a 34 in Energy Star up to a 76, which is really, really great progress. And specifically, I wanted to just kind of call out and acknowledge the Department of Public Property. We've got Bridget and Tom in the back and probably some others floating around. The Department of Public Property really has been driving the change in these buildings, the day-to-day work. And these big energy performance contracts and these big investments can help things, but there's really everyday things that maintain the savings that we see and can kind of continue the progress that we need. So hopefully we'll go even further, and all of our work will fit within the 2030 districts. Thank you.
Ready. Thank you, Adam, and thank all of you for coming out today and braving the line coming into City Hall today. A lot of people trying to get in the building. My name is Mitchell Swan. I'm from the Philadelphia Energy Authority, and what we've been doing, I guess, in concert with the Energy Office as well as the 2030 Initiative, we've been working very much on the Philadelphia Energy Campaign, which is geared to leverage about $1 billion of investment and looking to create about 10,000 jobs over 10 years in the city. including training and a lot of local inclusive hiring. The focus on that is energy efficiency and renewable energy type jobs. We've recently completed our first round of solar training, solar install training with Philadelphia high school students. Program completed this summer. We've got our Solarized program right now, which is helping residential solar installations. You have, I think, 5 days remaining for this first round to sign up. I think the closure date is the 31st of October for contracts on the first go-round of that. So go on the Philadelphia Energy Authority's webpage. You can look that up. But I think that the overall process, the overall 2030 district objectives, along with the energy office's objectives and the city's objectives, to improve the energy efficiency and sustainability aspects of the city for both the city operations as well as residences and residential and commercial space in the city. And we want to make sure we are able to deliver that down at the household level. And I think it's a great enhancement for the overall city's environment, as well as jobs and the economic conditions for the city. Every dollar you save on energy is a dollar you can devote to other aspects of city government or operations or your household budget that you might want to apply for things that you really want to need. So I think they're all working in concert, they all work combined, and I think it dovetails into a very nice overall project. And so it's not just big buildings with the city, but your houses and your neighbors' houses and everything else can all get involved and all can contribute in a collaborative manner so that we can all do better.
Thanks so much. Yes, indeed, the partnership that Delaware Valley Green Building Council has with the city on this is what makes it possible, and we're really excited to have the city on board right away and to be able to partner with the Energy Authority on the incredible work they're doing with the energy campaign. Next up, I'd like to invite Becky Collins, who is Corporate Initiatives Manager and with Sustainability Office of Innovation at SEPTA.
Good morning. SEPTA is pleased to be here today as a founding member of the Philadelphia 2030 District. It is efforts like these that got SEPTA into comprehensive sustainability planning nearly a decade ago. And it is thanks to large partners such as these that SEPTA's sustainability program is the award-winning, industry-leading initiative it has become today. SEPTA's deep commitment to sustainability has manifested itself in an ENERGY STAR rating at SEPTA's headquarters buildings, the first LEED Silver railroad station in the U.S., and now the largest fleet of all-electric buses on the East Coast to arrive early this fall. Additionally, SEPTA is one of 2 East Coast transit agencies to receive gold recognition for sustainability for the American Public Transportation Association. With the launch of the 2030 District, SEPTA is able to build on these accomplishments and will continue to contribute to the vision of a more sustainable Philadelphia. The 2030 commitment reinforces the critical role that transit plays in the ability for participants to reduce transportation emissions by 50%. On average, commuters who choose transit over driving cut their personal transportation by 70%. Already, 62% of all downtown office workers use public transit. Doubling down on transit use will be key to achieving the transportation emission reduction goal of the 2030 District Plan. SEPTA looks forward to being an active participant and partner in the 2030 District and supporting Philadelphia's vision of a more sustainable city for all. Thank you.
Okay, finally, I want to invite Tim Teal, who's with Covestro and also on the Board of Governors for the National 2030 District Network, and who is with us here today from Pittsburgh, our cross-state rival in many things, including now the 2030 districts.
Well, thanks, Alex, and he kind of took the cat out of the bag for me, but Yeah, it's an honor to be here today to celebrate the launch of Philadelphia. And like your mayor said, I mean, I think this is like a shining moment for Pennsylvania. I am from Pittsburgh, and our Mayor Bill Peduto and I believe Mayor Kenny here, we're leading the way. We think Pennsylvania really can become a model state out there for climate action, sustainability, energy efficiency, and really resiliency in the built environment. Historically, as Alex said, there has been a rivalry, whether it's the sports, who has the better food, cheesesteak versus Permanis, or, currently maybe who might get the Amazon second headquarters, sorry. So we do compete on a lot of things, which is great, and it's a great friendly rivalry, but really joining forces, we have a common bond here. It's sustainability, it's moving our state forward. So we like our brother on the other side of the state in this instance. We feel we will position Pennsylvania to be the climate leader. We often refer to our 2030 districts at the network level, which I'm on the board as a family. It's a family of cities. Like I had said, Philadelphia is now the 18th in my family of cities out there. My path and my company's path really to this family revolved around our products have a niche or a need in advanced material sciences for energy efficiency, whether it's insulation or LED lighting. But the real personal draw for me and the company draw for my company, Covestra, was this family of like-minded people, which I think a lot are in this room, where these cities can collaborate. Pittsburgh can collaborate with Philadelphia, and Philadelphia can collaborate with Dallas, and so on. A collaboration of like-minded people in this family is what we need to truly focus on climate reality, sustainability, and energy efficiency. So today, you're not just making a pledge as a city to impact climate change and urban resiliency, you're joining this hub of like-minded people in our 2030 family. Our vision is to establish this global network of thriving high-performance cities, not limited to just the United States. We're currently in Toronto, and as a board, we've been looking at globalizing where we can. Today, we include more than 675 organizations, like some in the room today, 1,300 buildings and counting, with the addition of Philadelphia, and 325 million square feet that have all taken this pledge of urban sustainability. On behalf of the 2030 District's National Board and myself, I want to extend my sincere congratulations to Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley Green Building Council. Welcome to our family. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank all of you for being here with us today. And before we wrap up, I want to especially thank one person who's in the back of the room, Katie Bartolotta, who is our Policy and Program Manager at Delaware Valley Green Building Council and the person responsible for pulling all of this together with the 2030 District. Thanks again for being here, and if the speakers would all join us at the podium for a quick photo. Thanks so much. Fair.